Hello and welcome to another pantomime review where today we're at the Manchester Opera House and of course for Robin Hood starring Jason Manford and Ben Nickless. Last year this panto was one of the best of the season, but does it still live up to that? Well, yes. Jason and Ben are back on top form in one of the UK's biggest cities, of course Manchester. Whilst the set they've been given by Crossroads is far from the best, the scenes are vibrant and it serves its purpose. Of course we go to Manchester purely for Ben and Jason. But before we talk about their talent, Sarah Vaughan is back as Maid Marion, providing a daring and brave Marion. She saves the day, protecting Robin from the evil Sheriff of Nottingham, played by Adam Strong. Sarah has strong vocals which shine throughout, especially during the opening number, Not Afraid by Gary Hind. We saw these swords at the Palladium last year, so nice to hear them again, of course reworked. Sarah moves the story along and whilst not being heavily used, provides a very good Maid Marion. Adam Strong surprised me playing a role that could be fairly dreary and basic, gives new life to the Sheriff of Nottingham, insulting the audience throughout and warms the audience up nicely, ready for Ben and Jason. I believed he's played Dane before in a Goldilocks for Crossroads. I think it was in Plymouth a few years ago. So it'd be interesting to see him reprise that role. Maybe in Manchester next year for Snow White. He partners with Ben for the impressions routine and provides a very daring sheriff throughout. Landi Oshinowo drives the plot along as Spirit of Sherwood, genuinely messing up her lines on opening night, only added to the production's laugh out loud moments, as well as her wig falling off during the 12 Days of Christmas routine, a well orchestrated moment of panto fun. Of course, Ben Nickless is back in Manchester and opens the show with a trolley routine, telling a love story through bits of his shopping, which warmed the crowd up nicely for Jason Manford's entrance, accompanied by Let It Shine. These two work together well, partnering up together, however also having the ability to do their own routines. Ben shows off his impressive impressions in a 5-minute routine, which I feel could have been made longer to show more of his impressions in perhaps a bit more of a grander routine. However, this is me nitpicking. We get Manchester's favourite in the gap routine, this time accompanied with a piano and broken stools, causing Ben to have a high-pitched voice. We've seen this stuff before, however it's been reworked and the audiences wrap it up. It's very rare in panto that you get two comedians working together and they bring the house down. We also get the audience cam picking members of the audience out, a great interaction with the audience, and of course the viral 2025 moment of the concert couple included. The bedroom scene is in this panto as well. If you've seen the Palladium panto or Newcastle's version, then you've seen this one. However, it does go down extremely well. Ben's routine with the Elton John record was very good and I found it hilarious. However, I feel like I've seen this somewhere before, maybe on BGT or something like that. The Oasis routine as well was very good and very funny. Ben's and Jason's antics makes this panto easy to watch. The plot is fairly thin, even for Crossroads standards. However, it does give Jason and Bren brilliant comic routines, and who really cares about plot once again in 2025. For the past few years, Manchester have had Myra Dubois. However, this year she's in Bradford with Billy Pearce, so it did feel like something was a little bit lacking in this panto. I think potentially another character would have been a nice addition, perhaps a dame. However, let's be honest, the show is there to drive Ben and Jason, which it succeeds in. At the end of Act 1, we get the Twins Effects Flying Fire Engine, which looks huge in Manchester, direct from the London Palladium last year. It has to be seen to believed. It does make me wonder, if the fire engine is in Manchester, what effects will be in Birmingham this year and their Robin Hood. The orchestra of 6 sound brilliant, playing Not Afraid of the Fight and Call for Robin Hood, which all sounded brilliant. The ensemble provided an energetic dance routines in front of the vibrant but limited scenery. This production is a hit. You know what you're going to get from Jason and Ben, and they serve it up 100 times with bucket loads of energy and brilliant relevant gags, perhaps too relevant with the 6-7. They don't take themselves too seriously, and that's why this panto is such a hit. Written by Harry Michaels with of course additional material from Ben and Jason. If you're in Manchester, this is the panto to be at. Although the auditorium felt like sitting in a furnace, this is one of the most beautiful venues in the UK, and this Robin Hood will have you riding merrily into the night. You can book your tickets for Robin Hood at the Manchester Opera House at www.acgtickets.com.